I spiced up my desk with 3D printing accessories. Let's talk about that. So I've been doing a lot of 3D printing over the past month or so, but a lot of it has been Jaws printing things for other people, like Pokemon figures and Vitron parts, and I recently felt like just printing something that I just thought was cool or useful for myself. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to 3D print some desk accessories. My last 3D printing video was about why you should customize a design exactly to what you need instead of trying to find a design and then modifying what you need based on what you can find. But I didn't want to go down a whole rabbit hole of trying to design the perfect print for a bunch of accessories. And I know some of you are going to want to know where to find these models to print for yourself, so I made sure that these were easily accessible from a free site like Printables or Thingiverse, and I'll leave a link to all of the different models down in the description. Let's get started. My first print was a stand from a MacBook designed by KTH0. I used to just leave my MacBook down on the table when I'm using it with my external monitor, but because my monitor is on an arm, the height difference made it really awkward to switch back and forth between the MacBook and the monitor. This design holds the MacBook from the base, and at first I was a little sketched out. It's a super cool design for sure, but I wasn't sure if this base was going to be sturdy enough to hold the MacBook. But this model actually ended up working great. It's actually super sturdy and I haven't had any issues with it falling over. I've tried it with a few other laptops as well, and this laptop stand seems to fit a majority of sizes. Because it's holding my MacBook, I definitely wanted something a little bit sturdier, so I opted to print this in PETG, just giving me that little confidence boost that this stand isn't going to just crack under the weight. Depending on what I'm doing, there are also times where I don't attach my Mac to the external monitor and I work off of the Mac by itself instead. And when that happens, I usually just push my keyboard as far in front of as I can go, but that still ends up taking up a lot of desk space. And I found that these two brackets from Joel Coster that allowed me to put my keyboard up on an almost vertical angle, which allows me to push the keyboard further back, clearing up more room on my desk from a Mac. Whenever I don't connect my external monitor to my Mac, I instead connect it to my PC, and because of this, I made sure that when I was looking for a keyboard stand, I wanted to find one that was at an angle instead of completely vertical. This allows me to still be able to type on the keyboard, and while it's obviously not going to be a comfortable typing angle, it's good enough to let me still be able to do small things like load up Netflix or YouTube on my PC without needing to move my keyboard down to type on it. This was printed in PLA since it's strong enough for what I needed to do. One of my new favorite pieces of tech that I got is an Apple Watch. And if you didn't know, Apple Watches charge using a puck that magnetically attaches to the watch. And obviously, a big disadvantage to using a puck is that when it's lying down the desk, you won't be able to see the time or the battery percentage of the watch when it's charging. I found this Apple Watch stand by Incremental Designs G91, and it's a pretty cool design. It lets you route the cable of the puck down through the hole of the stand, then pressure fits the puck so that it stands vertically in the stand, letting you charge your watch upright so that you can still see the time and battery percentage. It's a solid design, but I think my biggest gripe about this is that the watch sits vertically, so it's not the most optimal view angle for the watch while it's charging, and it's also a little bit short. I do think that the stand was probably meant for like the nightstand beside your bed instead of on your desk. And because of this is definitely a 3D model that I'm going to want to design and customize on my own time. Again, because strength is not a concern, I printed this in PLA. One of the newer additions of the Apple ecosystem is that using their continuity features, you're able to turn your iPhone into a webcam instead of relying on the 720p webcam on your Mac. But doing so requires you to buy their Belkin iPhone MagSafe mount on their website for an amazing price of $40, which I'm too broke to pay for. I found this MacBook Pro continuity holder made by H. Gross, which lets me slot my phone into the holder and then hang it on my Mac. This model is made for iPhones along with a case for a total thickness of 11.5mm, but my case was just a little bit too thick. I'm still able to kind of flex the print and push my phone in, which is a little bit jank, but hey, it works. I simply hang this holder on the lid of the MacBook, and we instantly are able to use our iPhone as the webcam. It's come in handy during Zoom calls when I'm meeting with clients, and it just gives me that little step up in quality. One thing I never really solved was where to leave my EDC items, like my phone, wallet, and keys when I get home. I usually just toss them onto my desk, which obviously isn't ideal when I'm trying to be clean and organized. I found these desk organizers by Hariba Designs, and he's designed these organizers to be completely modular with a bunch of different sizes. I printed his 10x5, 20x10, and 15x10 centimeter containers, and using these connectors, attached them all together. He has a bunch of sizes and even made different height variants as well for stackable organizers, allowing for some pretty good customization to fit what you need. I printed both the containers and the connectors in PLA, and the extreme modularity of this design definitely means that I'm going to be printing more of these in the future. Everyone hates cables dangling around, so when I found this cable organizer from Johnny Hackey when scrolling through printables, I definitely knew that I needed to print one. A simple print, there's not much to discuss about this one. It works, it lets me slot normal thickness cables into it, and I double side tape this onto my desk for wires that I need from time to time. I originally printed this in PLA, but I printed another version in TPU and I actually think that works a little bit better. I did have to scale it down a little bit just so that the wires wouldn't slide inside, but the flexibility of the TPUs just lets me put and remove wires in a little bit easier. But if you only have PLA, that should work just as well. And finally, we have these name card holders by Chris Aero Engineering Design. This isn't exactly something I needed since I definitely don't need to display my business cards to myself, but I had recently printed some new cards for CES and I thought it would be a fun little accessory to keep on my desk for now. The model holds my business cards at an angle, making for a pretty cool design, and because it's modeled at a 45-degree angle, you can easily print this whole thing without any supports. Again, strength is not an issue here, so I printed this in PLA. Overall, I think these accessories came out great. I know there's some obvious ones I didn't print like headphone or pencil holders, but I didn't want to litter my desk with accessories that I wouldn't really use, so I just opted to print what I needed. But if those are useful to you, definitely have fun and find some cool designs to print for yourself. If you know of any cool designs I should print, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!